to the Stealthy Crafter. I'm Jessica, and today we are doing a Whip Chat. If you're new here and you don't know what Whip stands for, it stands for Work in Progress, and what normally happens during a Whip Chat is that you can bring out your own whips or whatever it is that you like to do, be it chores, driving, listening, sitting on the couch and listening to me ramble about what's been going on during this week. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. It's been a slow week, which is, I guess, is a good thing. It's also was a very rainy week. We got some sun again, but there's supposed to be storms coming in, I think, in about an hour or two. So I'm gonna have to hopefully have this finished by the time it starts raining. But it is 50% chance, but it's also summer, so storms can happen at any moment. Also, hopefully, I will be able to finish this without an interruption. We'll see about that, because it is very close to me to actually start working on dinner, and I was able to get just a few moments away from the kiddos to finally record something. I was like, okay guys, I'm gonna go upstairs and get started, and it's just like, the moment I say that, all heck breaks loose. It's like, oh no, mommy's going upstairs. We gotta ask her 1,000,001 questions. But thankfully I have dinner pretty much prepped. I already cooked the chicken. I'm making like chicken and gnocchi soup today, but I cooked the chicken already. It's already cubed as well. I cut the onions. I cut the carrots. I got celery. I'm ready to go. Everything's ready for me just to start dumping into a pot. I'm like, okay, the moment I'm done with this video, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just immediately start cooking. I think the last thing I need to do is like chop the spinach, but that's like right at the very end. So, and I know it's weird making soup on a really hot day today, because it's like now 90 degrees and it feels worse. It's supposed to get a lot worse though in July and August. But I'm just like, no, not this. This is the dreaded weather. I hate it. But yeah, it decided, like, once we came back from our vacation, the weather took a weird turn. It got cold on one day where it barely hit 70, and then like it was just raining all the time. And speaking of, okay, speaking of all the rain and stuff, because it was windy, I get a text message from my neighbor, and it filled me with dread. We're gonna have to contact our the roofing company, because the shingles on our roof, the part of the roof that we gotten fixed last year, that roof, that part, some of the shingles are sticking straight, like in a nice little angle up, and I'm like, no, I can't have this happen again. I can't, because that was just so much headache and trouble when we had to get our office and our bedroom fixed up. I don't want that to happen again. I was about to start thinking about putting a diamond painting on that wall, and I'm like, nope, I ain't gonna do it now. Not touching that wall for a long while. I ain't doing it. But yeah, it's just like I'm not happy, guys. I'm so scared that it's gonna start up again. I'm gonna wake up one part of the night, and it's just gonna start dripping and it's gonna just funk on top of me. So I'm like, that's my fear now. That is my fear, and I think I have a very legitimate fear considering last time. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it was like sometime in October last year. After we didn't get hit with a hurricane. It was already a tropical depression by the time we got here. Tropical storm, tropical depression. But it was really windy and extremely windy. And the kids and I were downstairs and just chilling and stuff. And it was just like, we went upstairs to get ready for the kids, ready for bed. So it was like 7ish at night. And my husband, as he's going upstairs, he's hearing drip, 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 right? And then starts getting his phone, starts looking all over the place to figure out where the sound is coming from. And on my side of the bed, there's just this big latex bubble like on the wall, and it's filled with water. And he poked that hole. Like we got in a bowl, and he poked that hole and had to tear the paint off around the area and like start dampening it with towels. And that's when he noticed that the floor around that wall is soaked as well. So and it was basically, there was a hole in our roof that was caused by the storms, but we had to get that roof fixed, and that was just such a big hassle with everything. What happened was, like, it didn't just ruin the part of the bedroom. The water went all the way down into the office where my computer at, because it's the same corner. My computer and stuff was hanging out there, so all my electronics and things. So luckily that was safe, and we had I could not be in that room for, goodness, it was like 2+ months. And by the time Christmas came around, we were able to move stuff back in there. And it was like just around that time when I bought a brand new desk too, and I couldn't even put the desk together because of it. So I just, like, it had to sit there for the longest time waiting to be put together. And now I'm just like, I don't want that to happen again, because I really don't want to. But yeah, I'm it's a little traumatic. That's mean. Anyway, so there has been a lot that's been going on, for the most part. It's just been kind of the same old around here. I try to get the kids started with their homework. We only did one day, and then that was on Thursday, and I kind of gave up on that because I was like, okay, well, I need to get some English assignments done, and we need to go to the library to pick up a couple of books for some of this stuff, and we'll just do that. We'll start that like Sunday after we go to the library on Saturday. That was the plan. See, the earlier on the week, we kind of just I was just trying to get back into the groove of things. Like I said, couldn't do a Wip Chat last week until Tuesday. I was tired, I was exhausted from the trip, and I was just like kind of done with everything. Especially when I was trying to get things done around the house. I was like trying to clean up and everything. It was a good thing we kind of did a good cleaning before we left, but it was just like, I felt like I needed a vacation for my vacation. We didn't really do too much there. We only stayed there for 3 nights, so it wasn't like a very long one. So I dread to see like what would happen when we do a week-long one, because I think that would be, I think that I need a lot of time to recruit from that. But I was like, I got things started like with my game and stuff like too. I was trying to work on that, and I thought everything was fine. I told my friend on Thursday that I would make her live stream, because I'm gonna take a sip here. Hold on. So I told my friend that I was gonna be on her. I was gonna go to her live stream on Thursday, since she was live streaming on Twitch, and I was like, yeah, I'll be there. I don't raid anymore because they do mythics. I'm not too much into mythic raiding as much anymore, mostly for certain reasons. And the night before, I opened my big mouth to my friend in my raiding guild, because we do Mythic Plus dungeons. So this is going to be very short. So if you're not into gaming or anything, don't worry, it won't be very long. But it was, I told her, if you absolutely need me, like, you are not going to be able to make this raid happen, Yes, you can get me. I will help out if you absolutely 100% like need my help. And I shouldn't have not opened my big mouth, guys. I really shouldn't. I shouldn't, because the next day, like, people apparently decided that they were not coming to the to raid that night, and it was like we had several dropouts, and she pinged me and was like, please, and it was just like, you're lucky I like you so much. You're lucky. She said she cashed in her friendship points. So I said, okay, I'll go. I'll go do this mythic thing. They nerfed the first boss. It should be fine. So that day, I was like, I decided to like spend my time cooking dinner really quickly. I changed my dinner plans to make something easier to cook. And then like in between the whole thing, I was logging on and trying to get as prepped as I could for the game. So, because I didn't really study the fights or anything like that until that day. So, so I told my friend, I'll still come to your stream. I just won't be able to talk. I'll be just lurking. I may not even have her on volume on, so that way I can pay attention to what my raid leader's talking about. And all that stuff. And I was like, okay, we did well for the fight, right? We did the first boss, and then they're like, let's keep going. I'm like, wait, what? You don't need me here, do you? And they're like, yeah, we do. Come on. I'm like, okay. So we kept going. It felt good though, like being able to. I missed the feeling of being able to down bosses like that, and we were able to down the next boss after a few tries. And we were trying our hand on the third boss that we wanted to make an attempt to. And after all of this, my friend, my buddy, who begged and pleaded for me to come to this group, partners me with the worst person possible. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I was, if you guys don't know, a lot of times I keep my mic muted whenever I do raids. Because people are like, oh, you're so sweet, you're so nice, and I'm like, I'm like, no, I'm not. Because, I mean, like, yes and no, but, I get, like, not, like, gamer angry, you know what I mean? But there's times where it's like, where there's just one person who's making the same mistake over and over and over, and then killing my character because of his mistake, where I want to just go, what the heck are you doing? You know, like, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings like that, so I just keep myself muted for the most part. There was a point where I did have to speak up, you know, because I was just so angry. Because it was just a certain mechanic of the fight where we were supposed to lead our beams to this pool, and we can't like cross the beams because it was going to do too much damage to the overall group. So we're supposed to be aware of our left and our right and everything, and he just takes the closest pool. And there was no pool like next to him, or, you know, like on that other side. So I had to go and do this maneuver where I'm squiggling around to the opposite side of the room, so that way I can, you know, clear the beam and not die, right? And there's times where he just runs straight towards me. I'm like, no, don't. So anyway, this is the person they partner me with. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And they're like, we love you. We're so sorry. And I'm like, you guys are so mean. Well, I had a couple of choice words, but overall, I was like, you guys are so mean. And they were so mean. But to be honest, I shouldn't have teased my guild leader, because she's directionally challenged, and so am I, to be honest. And she goes the wrong way in our raids, in our dungeons a lot of times. So I was told to make a macro of like me constantly saying her name and saying, are we going the right way? And I would hit it. I've been hitting it the last few nights. So I think I got my payback. Like, I think I got karma, I mean. So, but I'm like, see if I ever help you again. And my husband's like, you would help them. Don't lie. I'm like, yeah, I would help them. But that was mean. He's like, you'll help them in a heartbeat. You can't. You don't have a mean bone in your body to say no. I'm like, you're right. Excuse me. This is the same me who we in our 10-year anniversary I went to a raid instead of doing anything. To be honest, my husband was working late that night, so he was still driving to and from work. So it's just like, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to just sit here and wait for him to come home at around 10 o'clock, or am I going to spend time with my friends? That was my thought process, because it was just, he comes home really late, so it's just like we wouldn't be able to really do anything. That's like a weekend event. So that's what I did. I told everyone like later on that was my 10th anniversary, and they were all like, you should have took time off. I'm like, yeah, but I would just been online twiddling my thumbs, because it's I think this is like before diamond painting became mainstream, or yeah, it was way before diamond painting was a thing or a process. So it was just like I would been just cross stitching or crocheting, and I don't think I was back into cross stitching at that point, because I was kind of like tired with the kids still, because this was like when Michael and Jana were teeny tiny toddlers, so I was still being run ragged by them. So yeah, it was just, so that was my Thursday, and then once we kind of called it, I go back, because I have her live, my friend's Mackenzie's her live stream up. Wasn't on. Because I couldn't even keep an eye on the screen at all. I finally turn off my computer, turn off my game, and I look over to the side, and she's shut down. And I'm like, no, I don't even get to talk to her after the whole thing. And I go and message her, and I apologize and everything. And I made a point to be there Saturday, because I couldn't make it last Saturday, because I was on vacation, so I couldn't even be there last Saturday. So I was like, I made it a point to be there this Saturday. And I was there the whole 3 hours. I was like, I'm there. Even though there was one point I fell asleep, and I had to go get some ice cream to wake me up. It was good ice cream too, man. I was like, I gotta stay awake. And she helped me keep myself awake, because I was trying to finish my Moon Goddess, like it was Princess Yue from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I was like, was determined to get that done. I didn't finish it that night. I called it a night, like maybe 20 minutes after she ended the live stream. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to bed. And I didn't really spend much time working on it till late in the evening the next day. I'm gonna take another sip. But anyway, earlier that Saturday, we're gonna go back. I was trying to get things done. I was trying to get it to the post office, because I promised Mackenzie, who's Dragon Wing Diamonds, some diamond paintings that I had in my stash. And at one point I was like, no one's going to touch my stash. No one is going to, take anything out. But there were a couple things I didn't have, like, in my stash, and in my Gems Flow app, which was stuff that I got from the mystery boxes that my husband bought for me. And I was just like, okay, let's keep track of what I have. And there was a couple things where I was just like, this isn't my cup of tea, or like one thing where I thought, I already knew the image. It was like an Ann Stokes one from the mystery box. And I already knew the image, because I just gotta know stuff. And but I knew she liked dragons, so, and it was a dragon one, so it even says dragon, so it's not like it's a big spoiler. So so I was just like, hey, would you like this? And she goes, yes. And then I kind of looked around, like stuff that I did like, but it's like I don't think I'll ever pull out immediately. Like it was all from, I think every single thing was like from a mystery kind of thing. So then it was just like, I had a Professor Snape. I'm like, I remember she said she liked Harry Potter, so I'm like, would you like this one? And she's like, yes, and then there was one where I was just like, I would do, but it's just like, I think would just give me a headache to do. It was like, it's a discontinued kit, and it's called like The Cat, and I was just like, it's like, has like a lot of blacks and whites and stuff like that, except for the eyes is all rainbow colored, and I think it was just, as much as I would love to do that one, and I think it would be beautiful, I knew that I would not be able to be happy with it. It would not make me happy. I would probably be frustrated with it, to be honest, with all the grays and whites and blacks in it. So I asked if she wanted that one as well, and because I know she loves cats, so she's getting that one, and then one more mystery kit as well. So I'm got rid of 4 in my stash, and then I looked at my husband and I'm like, does that mean I can replenish them? And I got the dirtiest look from him. He's like, no. I did replenish it a little bit. I know I said a no buy, but I had my husband hold to a promise. The week prior, this is going to come all together. So not the week. So I packaged up these 4, by the way, to get ready for us to go out for the day. I had a whole day planned because it wasn't supposed to rain or anything like that. I was like, we're gonna go out. We're gonna hit the library. We're gonna hit the post office so I can drop these off. We're gonna get some lunch. We're gonna I had the day planned. But first off, I had to make purchases online. So there was a restock earlier in the week, and I saw that there was one thing that I had on my wish list that popped up, and I'm like, I must get this. And I asked my husband later on, because if I could get 2, because he promised me way back when, in May, I think it was May, when Flower Delivery came out, the version 1, and I was like debating if I should get this one or if I should get the version 2 that would be coming out. And my husband's like, you should definitely get version 2. You're going to want the better one of the 2, is what he said. And I'm like, yep, you're right. I'm like, so you promise that I can grab this kit when it comes out? He goes, yes, absolutely. And I'm like, okay. And because I really wanted it because it was Kiki's delivery service. So I was like, okay, you promised that. And then it came up this week, last week, that was coming out on Saturday. I'm like, yes. And I told him this, and he's like, no, can't we just not? I'm like, but you promised me. He's like, dang it. And then later on that week, there was nothing else I was seeing that was that I wanted. That wasn't like I must have it. And I asked him, is it okay if I get a second one for the free shipping? And he goes, yes. So when the restocks came out, there was one that I absolutely wanted so bad, guys. It's like it was from Raven Phelan, and it's like this little baby dragon. There's a little, it's like Love Your Inner Child is what it's called, if I remember that correctly. And it's so cute. And my husband's just like, that thing is so ugly. And I'm like, no, it's adorable. And he refuses to let me get this thing. So I didn't tell him. He knows I got a second painting. He knows I bought a second one because I wanted to get the free shipping. And I asked him if it was okay. So that Saturday, before we were starting to leave, I snagged, flower delivery, and I got that one. I'm like, it's mine, mine, mine. Because I gotten like the beekeeper, and I need to unbox that sometime soon. I got in the beekeeper, and I was like, it fits with that so cute. It's like it's a companion piece, and my husband's like, I hated the beekeeper. It looked ugly. I'm like, you just don't like green. Shush. He does not like the color green at all. I don't know what's with him. He's weird. Although purple is always my favorite. Then followed by blue, then green. But yeah, he's I think he's going to roll his eyes when he sees a thing. So that was part 1 of my Saturday. So I'm going to take another sip. Sorry. So my next part was we're going to go to the post office, and we're going to drop this off, or we were going to the library. But my husband went to pull up the post office hours as we're pulling out of the driveway. We're just idling in the driveway, and he's like, the post office just closed. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, it closed like 40 minutes ago. I'm like, are you kidding me? He goes, yeah, sorry, hun. And he goes, I'll see if I can try and deliver this on Monday. Spoiler alert, it's Monday today. He can't. He's working. He has meetings all day, so ain't happening. Not a big deal, but I was like, okay, all right. I guess library next. So we drive to the library, right? We get to the library, and there's a sign that says library closed all week, and I'm just like, oh, come on. The second thing that's closed, right? And it's all week, and it doesn't, there's like, I don't have like, it doesn't announce it on Facebook or anything like that, so I didn't even know. So I was just like, okay. And the kids start going, can we go to the park then? Can we go play? And my husband's like, okay. And I'm just looking at him like, are you serious? Because I did not dress to go out and play at all. Like, I dressed in jeans, and it was already feeling like 89. And I'm just like, I looked at him going, are you serious? He's like, yep, we're going to go play. And I'm like, I am going to melt. I'm like, okay, but I'm going to melt. I didn't melt, but I was very uncomfortable. I was not a comfy person. But we got them to run their energy out, and it was so funny because it's like there's one thing the kids have not outgrown. Like, Nicole is 11 and the twins are 8, and they still want my husband and I to play with them, with act like we're going to eat them. Well, Michael doesn't like it sometimes. He'll only allow it during certain times. So, but they always go, you have to be Bowser, and you got to be like pretending that you're going to come after us. They have to dictate the rules. Before it was just like, I'm going to get you, like that. I'm going to eat you up, and they go, ah! But it's so funny because we're at the playground. They all 3 go to the swings, and we're like, okay. And I saw a tree. I saw a seat underneath a tree, and I'm like, shade, perfect. And I just buzzed like to that. And Jana's yelling, can someone push me? And I'm like, sorry, kid, I love you, but I'm going over here in the shade. I'm like, you can push yourself, sorry. I know it's a little mean, but I was like, I was already sweltering. My face was already red and all that. So I sit there and I just immediately watch, my husband go there, pick up this big tree branch because it's been raining all week. So, branches and stuff have been just piled around. So he pulls some of the branches that's near the swings and tugs them out of the way, just in case the kids trip on them, because they're my kids. They're accident prone like I am. I trip on thin air. So, so he does this and he starts pushing Jaina, for a little bit, and then he goes to sit down, and then they immediately decide swings are done. We're done with swings. No more with that. Come play with us, Daddy. And my poor husband's like, okay, because he's sweltering too, and they're like, come get us, Daddy. Come eat us, like that. So he starts chasing after them. They're like, oh no, Bowser, and they immediately run to this huge slide, and then they just go, nah, you can't get us. And go down the slide, and then they run off to a different part of the playground. And at this point, like, my poor husband, he's like hiding underneath one of the slides to kind of get some shade. And they're just sitting up there, just not doing anything except going, where's Daddy? We're so scared. And I'm just looking, I'm like, they're not playing, So I get up, I walk over after I take a couple pictures. I had to take a couple pictures. I get up, I go over, and I'm like, all right, come on, Daddy. I'll make you a dinner later on. And he goes, but little sausages. And then this is a thing that made me bust laughing, because he explains to me the whole little sausages thing. Once he sat down, so I'm like, I'll get you little sausages later. He goes, oh, there's little sausages over there, And I'm just like, it's all right. And then I'm like, all right, kids, you can go play. You don't have to worry about Daddy getting you. And then, like, Michael and Jana are like, yay! And start running all over the place. Nicole starts following us and tugging, going, hey, Daddy, you can't get me. Mommy has you now. Haha. And I'm like, are you trying to antagonize him? Are you trying to poke the bear? Seriously? And I'm like, Nicole, just go play. Just go play. I want you to go have fun and go play. And then finally she did. But then she made like a proclamation that her brother and sister are annoying her. Alas, all that stuff. It's just like, oh, the horror, they're already bothering her. I'm like, what are they doing? Absolutely nothing. But anyway, he and I are sitting. I'm not anywhere in the shade at this point now, which was probably a good thing, because I had something laying on my head when I was sitting underneath that tree, and I heard a buzz, and I'm like, nope. One of the reasons why I got up too. And he told me apparently, like, they refer to their fingers and toes as little sausages now, and they're like, you can't eat our little sausages. And it was so funny when Michael tried to do that earlier today with me, and I just looked at him and I busted out laughing so hard. It was just so funny. But yeah, at least we got to do that. And then my husband's like, so what do you want for lunch? And I go, can we have Wendy's? Wendy's is so far away, guys. I'm like, I know it's a bit of a distance, but I really don't want McDonald's. And no disrespect to anyone, but I hate McDonald's. My husband and I call it sewer trash, but the kids love McDonald's. And they think it's hilarious that we call it sewer trash. So whenever we're asking them what they want to eat, they go, sewer trash! And I'm like, you disappoint me. I'm like, okay, sewer trash it is. And, but I knew that's what they were going to ask for. I knew that they were going to ask for McDonald's. And I went, can we do Wendy's? I know it's a bit out of the way. I know it's a bit of a drive, but please, can we eat Wendy's? I shouldn't have chose Wendy's, guys. I really shouldn't. I shouldn't. But my husband's like, yeah, sure, So let's go do that. We'll make a day out of it. And he places his order for mobile pickup. It takes a bit of time, so it takes like 20 plus minutes to get to this place. We get there, and it goes smoothly until it's our turn. Like, everything is like bump, 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 and then it's our turn. So, and I know, 5 people, so it's a bit of an order, but my husband tries to make it as easy as possible, especially with our kids, and our kids kind of get grumpy sometimes because they want to have, like, kids meals and stuff like that, and my husband doesn't always give them a kids meal. But what he normally does is let them have a soda. It's one of those rare treats. So he orders, like, everyone gets a root beer. Before, like, when they were all younger, everyone had a Sprite. Now everyone gets a root beer. Then there's small fries for all 3 of them. a hamburger for all three of them, and chicken nuggets for all three of them, you know? That way, no arguing, no shoving, no I want this and this and this and this. Sometimes we'll let everyone have different orders, but to try and make things like, especially if we know it's going to be hectic or busy at a place, we try to make it as easy as possible with that. All right. So I wanted my Asagio chicken sandwich, and he's like, okay, you know, because that's what I normally. I'm a creature of habit. I usually have a main thing I have from not every restaurant, but like from most places, it's like you just order that and I'll be happy, you know. Excuse me. And he's like, okay, and he got his thing, and so when we got there, like I said, it was like everyone in front of us was boom, 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 and then we got to the speaker, and it's like mobile order for, you know, our name and everything, and we get to the window, and there's nothing, no one does anything, like there's no opening for like 4 minutes, and we're like, okay, and then that's when the woman comes out and goes, so we don't have any classic chicken. Would spicy be alright? And I'm like, you know, a little disappointed, but I'm like, yeah, okay, spicy Asagio chicken, whatever, you know, right? And then, you know, 3 minutes later, opens the window again. We don't have any bacon. Is that okay? Alright, yeah, sure, you know, whatever, right? It's like, okay, sure. I'm like, okay, no bacon, no normal crunchy chicken, just this spicy. Okay, well, it should be fine. We're, you know, and we still haven't gotten our drinks yet, by the way, which is weird, because normally they give us our drinks by that point, so, and we already gulped down our water from being out and everything, so I'm, like, really thirsty, because I haven't ate that time at this point, and I haven't had anything to drink. I didn't even have coffee that day. I'm just like, I really would like something to drink, and, it just, like, we waited, and I think we waited altogether was, like, 12 to 15 minutes in that line, and she finally comes back and gives us our bags, and then it's like, okay, we need our drinks. They didn't even have our drinks prepped, and they're like, oh yeah, here's your drinks. And so my husband pulls off, and we pull off to like to a little area that we normally stop at, and start pulling everyone's orders out to see, you know, what we have. And guys, they forgot my fries. So I'm like, I didn't get the chicken I wanted. I got no bacon, and I have no fries. And I'm like, I don't complain too much about food for the most part, but I have not been having the best of luck with my orders as of late. It wasn't like last week, but it was like I think the week before. My husband gotten some Subway. He went to see a doctor on like, it was like a few days before our trip, and he went to see a doctor and then decided to pick up lunch for us on the way back home, and he ordered what I normally get, which was a chicken teriyaki, and he got himself a buffalo chicken. And my order is very simple at Subway. It's either, if I usually get a meatball sub or a chicken teriyaki. And with chicken teriyaki, I don't really put anything but banana peppers on it and extra onion sauce. But like, they messed up my order so bad there at that Subway, which was, goodness, let's see. What they did was, both sandwiches had buffalo sauce, right? Both sandwiches had buffalo sauce. Both sandwiches had sweet onion sauce. My sandwich that was supposed to be chicken teriyaki was, it was, goodness, if I remember, it had lettuce on it. And I'm like, and it's like hot. And it just, I'm like, no, ew. And then, like, there was no banana peppers at all. And then my husband's like, this tastes weird. And it was like different kind of cheese, different kind of bread, like all completely different. And he goes, yeah, when I went there, it was just 3 15-year-old girls. There was no one else there. And they were just chit-chatting the whole time. And I'm like, I could not eat my sandwich, guys. I tried so hard, but it just tasted so weird with the buffalo sauce and the sweet onion sauce. It was like, well, I'm not eating this. I tried. I gave it an attempt, and I'm like, no, I gotta throw this in the trash. It tastes so weird. And my husband's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. Because normally it's just like, I'll just power through it. Like with pizza, I have a preference. Like, I don't like certain things on my pizza. I just normally pick them off, you know, like black olives. Can't stand them. I hate them. I always pick them off. I still say I taste the black onion on, not black onion, the black olive on the pizza itself, but I still eat the pizza regardless. But as long as I don't have the actual black olive, I'm fine. I just have the essence of it. It's like, which still makes me go, but you know, I'm like, the kids like them, so, and my husband likes them, so, you know, majority rules. But my husband has been really nice and gotten me my home pizza sometimes, but it's like I don't really want him to have to feel like he has to do that. Let's see. But yeah, so I've been having horrible luck with orders as of late. I don't know what it is, guys. I really don't know. I'm just so sad. It's like, oh man. So I stole a couple of the kids' fries. I'm like, I'm just gonna take one of each of your fries before, you know, I hand them back to you. I should have kept Jana's fries, because I remember her telling me that she does not like Wendy's fries, and then as I'm passing the fries back, I'm like, Jana, do you mind if I eat your fries? And she goes, I like these fries. I'm like, okay. I remember I was so hungry though when we got home, because like since I didn't eat it all, the sandwich was not enough, guys. I was like, I need more food. I'm so hungry. Usually I'm like so stuffed if I eat what I normally do is eat the fries first and then eat a bit of my sandwich, and then I eat the rest of my sandwich later. And this time it was just like I ate my whole sandwich and I had nothing to kind of help fill in the gap. And I'm like, I'm still hungry. So yeah, it was a good Saturday. It started off on a good note on Saturday, and then it just ended like I was so sad, man. I was so disappointed. And then like I was hoping to get Chinese food, because you know Mackenzie, she kept going on and on about Chinese food. Apparently someone in her live stream mentioned it last Saturday, and then she had it later on, and she was just talking about it in her Wip Chat, and then I was like, Chinese food sounds like a great idea. And I asked my husband earlier in the week, I'm like, can we have Chinese food? I really would like to have Chinese food. And he goes, yeah, sure, that sounds like a good idea. You guys, we didn't eat out for Chinese food. Not at all. I'm so sad. I'm pout. I don't even remember what I made that day. I seriously don't remember what we made, though. I know I made something, like, because, like, I was the one that had to make sure, let's see, what was it? I don't know, it was late. I made hot dogs for the kiddos. I hate hot dogs. Unless it's a chili dog. I like a chili dog, but, I'm not a big fan of hot dogs, so it's just like, alright, kids. I gave them a picnic day, tell them that they can sit on the floor in the living room, and they can just, you know, watch some TV. I was going to have it as a movie day, on Saturday, but I was like, I will do it yesterday, so that's what we did. Let's see, yeah, and it pretty much ended that, and I got to, you know, join Twitch and talk to my friends later on in the day, and I was trying to desperately finish Moon Goddess, and I had a feeling I wouldn't finish it until, like, I thought it wouldn't be done until like today or tomorrow, but I'm pleasantly surprised. So because I promised the kids we were going to build a fort with Minecraft, I said, okay guys, we're gonna do an air fort build, or not air fort, we're gonna do a Minecraft fort, and we're gonna play games. None of them wanted to play games. Okay, I'm like, fine, sure, okay. And it's too hot to build, and it was starting to rise in temperature yesterday. So I had an idea, and I'm like, how about the air fort? So I'm like, I can pull that out. It's easy to set up. We have the box fan, you just need to turn it on. So they're like, yeah, air fort. And I'm like, okay, all right, let me go and set this bad boy up. And that's what I did for them. I set it up for them. So that way they stayed underneath this big old tent thing that was, taking up the entire living room. And I'm like, have fun, guys. And I went to diamond paint. I'm like, no, I got this. I'm diamond painting. It took some time. I didn't finish until later on in the evening, but I was able to finish it. I was so happy. I was like, yes, it's done. Look at it. It's so beautiful. I finished. And then I had to do the whole kit down. I was like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to kit down. But before I finished it, had to go to help my husband with dinner. He did country style ribs, baked potatoes, and mac and cheese, and we had another picnic because it was late by that point. And I decided to get the kids ready for showers while he was finished prepping all of that stuff. And we were having a surprise for our oldest as well. I was like wanting to see my kid's face when she got upstairs. Sorry. So I mentioned before that we got in a brand new TV, right? And we were trying to figure out what to do with the old one. My husband at one point wanted me to install the old one in here, like in front of me, so that way I had something to watch. I'm like, I'm fine with my little tablet. Besides, I want to put like a diamond painting in here, which I already figure out which one I want to do. I want to put the tea party one up there. I don't want a TV. He goes, but you're going to want it. I'm like, no, I want my diamond painting there. I'm like, I do not want to have a TV in our bedroom. And he goes, why not? I'm like, I don't want more holes in our walls. I have a thing about holes, okay? It's been a thing where I just been so protective of this house with holes. And every time he has to put a hole in the wall, I start cringing and going, and he's like, can you stop that? I can't help it, guys. I lived in a household where in my bedroom where I was sharing with my sister, like my back was up against a big hole that had no insulation, and all we did was my dad bought like drywall and put drywall on top of in front of this thing, so it would still have like part of the hole like had like had was like still breathing pulling in cold air during the winter. And it wasn't just one hole in the wall, the other side. So it's like my back right here, and then this one in the corner. So I had this one and then a window and a window. So I was freezing. And it's just like the whole house was riddled with holes and stuff like that. So I've been like very protective about the fact that even though they're itty bitty little holes and you can fill them in with spackle and stuff, it's just we got the walls painted almost 2 years ago now, I think, or has it been a year? 2 years. Anyway, they look nice. I don't want to ruin the nice look of the walls. So I've been very like, don't you damage those walls. Don't you touch those walls. I've been very, very protective of the walls, guys. But anyway, so I didn't know he did this. He was going to do this yesterday. It's probably a good thing because I probably would have, but he decided he was going to install the TV that we had in our daughter's room. So during during the trip to the cabin and everything, every bedroom had a house. Every bedroom had a TV. My mouth is getting parched, guys. Okay, every bedroom had a TV. So, and Nicole went on and on about the fact that it was so cool that her bedroom had a TV, and that, it was the best thing ever that she was able to, wake up in the morning and be able to turn that TV on. And at that point, my husband and I are just like kind of snickering at each other and looking at each other on the car ride home because we already mentioned that we were going to let her have a TV in her room. But she didn't know that the TV was in her closet this whole time. It's been in her closet for, I would say, about 2+ weeks. And she didn't even notice it. So my husband decided yesterday was the day to get the wall mount and get it all set up for her. And it's a good thing he didn't tell me this because I was too busy focusing on finishing up Moon Goddess. I was like, I gotta get this done. So I hear him rummaging around, and I'm thinking that he's just getting ready to take a nap because he's been taking some new medication that's kind of making him a little sleepy right now. So I was just like, he's gonna just go lay down. It's fine. And then I hear him moving around upstairs. I'm like, well, maybe he's just taking a while to get settled. And then I get a picture, like I get a text message and a picture of him with the TV up on Nicole's wall. And I'm like, oh, well, it's a good thing he didn't let me know, because on that wall was the diamond painting I did for her, which was like Angie and Oliver. We have a mermaid theme in her room. And I know the holes in that wall is still there. He did not. he just, the TV's just hiding that hole where that picture frame was. So it's like, I'm just like, oh my goodness. He just fixed the holes from the previous wall mount that we had in our office. So I'm just like, okay, it's fine. We just have new holes. We have, I think, like 4 new holes in the wall, and they're big ones because you have to really get them to fit. So I was like, okay, and it was funny. At that point, I was getting Michael and Jana ready for showers and stuff like that because I knew we were going to watch a movie, and the movie was going to take a long time to get through, and it was already getting late. So, hold on. I see my oldest has just came home. Let me open the garage door for her. Let's see. There we go. All right. Anyway, so she gets home, right? And I'm still up here. I'm just waiting for her, to find out. She has her tablet and her headphones ready to go. And I'm like, you should probably start grabbing, some PJs and a change, or a change of clothes or something, because she just came home from swimming with her friend at her friend's house. So, so she's like, okay, I will. And she walks in and she stops, and she's like, what's that? I'm like, what do you think? And she goes, I have a TV. Oh my god! It was like, just completely blew her mind. She was just so, like, head explode, everything, like, and she was just so excited. And I'm like, yeah, you got a TV now. And she's like, this is the best thing ever. And then starts talking. She's like, I gotta go call my friend. I gotta tell her the news. I'm like, really? You just left your friend. Well, we gotta call her now. So had a whole conversation, and I'm asking her, I'm like, well, can you go take a shower? And she goes, I just got home. I want to relax. I'm like, more like you just want to watch that TV. So, and my husband and I gave her some ground rules, like, she can't watch TV after 10 a.m. I mean, not 10 a.m., 10 p.m. And that, we'll know what she's watching, so it's the same rules, like, applied to her tablet and everything. And my husband's like, I know when you're streaming, just so you know. So, don't you dare. I had to take Crunchyroll off just because I can't put I don't know how to put parentals on that, and I don't want her to watch some shows on that. So I was like, no. You can watch Crunchyroll whenever I'm watching it. But yeah, this morning I had to wake up really early because my husband was going to be in a meeting and be on camera for most of the day. So I decided that I was going to paint my nails today. I kit down yesterday. I was getting stuff ready so I could kit up for next month's project, and because it was going to be something I was going to work on this month for Pride, but I didn't have a chance to get to it, so I'm going to do it next month since it's a Jasmine Beckett Griffith, And I figure I'll just kit up. I haven't kitted up yet. I might do that tonight instead, or whatever. I was going to try and get an unboxing done today, but I really gotta go and start cooking. It's already since she's home. It means that I need to start cooking before it gets too late. But I'm gonna finish this up. But yeah, I wake up early. I get my coffee. And everything. I get my stuff, I get my office chair out of the room because I can't sit on the couch anymore. The couch I wouldn't say it's broken, but it's definitely sunken in to the point where it's like I have a hard time getting out of it. And then like the wedge, which was my favorite spot, has now like a spring, that, pokes you in the rear, and I'm like, not about that. And then there's just, blankets and stuff all over the second part of the love seat. So it's like, I don't really have a seat to sit down because the kids have wrecked it all. Like, I tell them, don't climb on the couch, and since they were babies, that's all they've been doing. And it's like, they slowed down and haven't done that as of recently. There's been times where I'm like, what have I told you? Don't jump on the couch, But yeah, so this morning I got ready. I got myself sitting down, and then Michael comes downstairs, and he's all like, what are you doing up? Because normally I'm not like downstairs at that point. I'm still up here going, it's so early, And I'm like, Daddy has an all-day meeting. He's going to be on camera. I'm just, prepping myself over here. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, what do you want for breakfast? I'll get you some breakfast, And he was, I don't know. And then I had an idea. I'm like, I'm going to make this kid's day. I'm like, how about Pop-Tarts, Because normally I'm not the person to offer Pop-Tarts for a breakfast. That's more my husband. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, go tell your sisters to come down. I'll get them Pop-Tarts. I'll get your milk all settled and everything. So had to pull his almond milk out because poor kid is lactose intolerant. So got his milk set up. Got his sister's milk. And then I just started getting Pop-Tarts ready. They took my chocolate fudge, both him and Nicole. I'm like, that's mine. But okay, we're being nice. We're being nice today. And Nicole makes the announcement of, I didn't watch TV because I didn't want to wake you up. I was trying to be nice. I'm like, well, that's very kind of you, kid. And then she finishes her Pop-Tart, and then she goes, all right, can I go upstairs and watch TV? And then she stays up there almost all day until I have lunch ready for her. She comes down, I get her lunch all prepped, and then she goes back upstairs. And then she comes back down and she's on her tablet instead. I'm like, that's not any better, kid. Oh, we are definitely, like, tomorrow more, I'm gonna have to tell her, don't be on that TV all day or I have to pull the plug. I know it's a new thing, but you can't just stay on it all day. And I'm pretty sure that now she's home, she's in that room. I haven't heard her climb up the stairs yet, but she might have been a little sneakier. I hope she won't turn it on, because you'll hear it definitely, because it's like right there. It's on the opposite side of this wall. So yeah, I have to make sure she doesn't stay on the TV all day. There was that one point where it was like, I think not yesterday. It was like a Friday or something, because it's just been raining. It was just like, and it was funny because we got home on Saturday and it started raining too. But it was like, I think it was Friday or something, and she was just in her room all day. She was playing on her tablet, and then she came downstairs. She played on her computer. Then they watched TV. Then she went on back on her tablet, and then they had the gall to be offended when I'm like, all right, guys, tablets up, switches up, time to go play games, and they're like, how dare you, mother? I'm like, how dare I indeed. But yeah, I just I'm trying to make sure that they don't just get zombified. There's been times where it's just like, you know, go ahead. I'm tired. I don't have the mental energy or anything to deal with this, you know. But then days like, you know, Friday and stuff where it's like, no, guys, we gotta do something different. Especially since now it's getting sunny again. I gave them a slight pass because of the rain, but the rain's no more. Excuse me. Let's see. Anything else I want to say before I get off here? I don't. There is something I wanted to say before I got all, before I finished this, but I can't remember it, and isn't that always the case? There was some stuff from last week where I was like, oh gosh darn it, I forgot to talk about this, about the trip and everything, and I was so mad that I forgot. I just omitted some of that stuff, but yeah, I don't remember. I know I will, like, the moment I turn this off, and it's going to be too late. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you want. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!